Let's take it down to Texas with a major escalation in a political battle there. Civil arrest warrants issued against Democrats in that state who are trying to block a redistricting push that could shape the balance of power here in Washington for years to come. It could affect you no matter where you live. Here's the deal. Dozens of Democrats skipped town to make sure Republicans couldn't bring up a vote to redraw congressional maps in the GOP's favor. The redistricting, of course, something that could give Republicans control in Congress, in the House of Representatives, for like who knows how long, maybe decades, considering how thin the margins in the Capitol are. The Texas governor laid out a deadline that said come back or else. But that deadline came and went about an hour ago. Democrats did not come back, which is why you're seeing Republicans lay out those arrest warrants now, asking state police to go out and find those Democrats and bring them back. Those Dems are not backing down. They're trying to make sure Republicans don't have enough lawmakers, butts in seats, so to speak, in Texas to even call that vote in the first place. A state drama that is reverberating in a big way around the country. NBC's Ryan Chandler is at the state capitol of Austin again for us tonight. Ryan, let's just be super crystal clear. We said it, right? No matter where you live, this could affect you. Whatever the outcome is of this fight in Texas could make a difference to your life because it'll make a difference here in Congress. So give us the reality check. Arrest warrants? State police, are they really going to go to New York or Illinois to try to find these Democratic lawmakers and do what? Haul them back?
Look, Texas politics has always been a full-contact sport, Hallie, and now the pads are coming off. Governor Abbott is a smart political mind. He plays hardball, but in my years of covering him, I've never seen him play quite this hard. We know that just in the last hour, the speaker said he was going to sign civil arrest warrants for the Democrats. That was the whole idea for them to leave the state, to escape the jurisdiction of the state troopers, the Texas Rangers, who now have the authority to forcibly bring them back to the Capitol. Unclear how that works and whether they will try and bring them back from Chicago, New York, Boston. But we know there are representatives here in Texas that could be on the line for an arrest at this point. You bring up a good point, though, Hallie. Math is a hard problem for Democrats, and the governor has the authority to call them back to the Capitol inevitably. Eventually, Republicans are going to get the maps that they want because they have the votes. This is a delay tactic. It is an effective stall. And it is the only tool, really, that Democrats have in their toolbox. Otherwise, this map would have come up for a debate and a vote today. So we know from our reporting, talking with Democrats in Chicago all day, they packed for 3 weeks. They're not planning to come home anytime soon.
To your point, though, Ryan, and just to be clear about this, too, the reason why you say it is a stall move is because Texas is obviously an overwhelming red state. Is there a scenario where Democrats could pack for, if not 3 weeks, 18 months or whatever and keep this up longer? Like, that just doesn't seem realistically in the cards, right?
If past is precedent, it's not going to take nearly that long.
Then
we've seen this before. Back in 2021, you remember Democrats fled to D.C. To team up with the Biden administration over an elections bill. That lasted for about a month. It was an effective stall tactic, but ultimately that bill did pass with no changes, right? So eventually Democrats have to come home to their families, to their jobs, and to their capital. We expect that to happen. Democrats talk a big game, and they're going to try and last as long as they can in Chicago. The ones I talked to today said they're going to be there until the end of this session, 2 weeks from now. Of course, that was before the very real legal consequences became real. So, we'll see how they react to that. But if their message is still come and take it, they're coming.
Play it out then, Ryan, the ripple effects here. If a red state is going to make this move to try to add more seats through redistricting, what is stopping, let's say, a blue state from doing something similar to offset that?
Well, exactly, right. This is how the game is played nowadays. I was just talking with a representative, and his justification for doing this in Texas is because he sees California, Illinois as having done the same thing. There was a real sense that Republicans are only evening the playing field here and using the power that they have unapologetically for political gain, right? But we saw J.B. Pritzker in Illinois last night say that now that Texas has done this, we need to do the same thing. This is just the new trend of drawing districts for partisan gain without any kind of apology, and it's spreading nationwide.
Ryan Chandler, live for us there in Austin with plenty more to watch right in the center of the political universe. Ryan, thank you very much.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.